Is it time to up-level your friends? Or is it time to break up with people who are not benefiting you, your life, or your business? Is that mean to consider the thought? Or is it simply doing the right thing that's best for you? In this video, we're going to dive deeper into this controversial topic. Is your network truly your net worth? And if so, what does that mean specifically for you? I'm LizJSimpson, founder of the Big Money Movement, accompanied by
Cheryl Parks
and Heather Petherick,
who are our esteemed coaches at the Big Money Movement, where we help women entrepreneurs land corporate clients. And I'll have to say, this topic of right-sizing your network, if you will, is definitely something I can say from firsthand experience that I've struggled with, right? When I first heard this, it sounded really elitist to me. It sounded very cutthroat, and I struggled with the idea of it. But I will admit, as I've made personal decisions for myself of where I aspire to be, and when I focused on, but I will say, as I made certain life decisions for myself or choices as a business owner, I did have times where I realized, like, I don't know that my relationships are providing the support I need in this season, right? And I do feel like in life, there are only so many relationships that we have just the bandwidth, capacity, and focus to do right by. And I was like, man, I just felt that need to be loved in a different way from the people around me. And so I will admit, this is a work in progress for me. There's some therapy happening, don't judge me, behind the scenes. But I love this topic because I think it shows up for so many people. Yeah. Cheryl, I'll kick it to you first. Like, what are your thoughts on this?
So as I've just kind of come through the process and gotten older, I realize that all I have is my energy. Right? So people talk about time, but truly it's your energy, because if you're not properly aligned with your energy, you're wasting a lot of time. Yeah. So I think first and foremost, it's mindset first, right? You really have to be clear on what you want, but you also have to understand where your mindset currently is and where you want it to go. And then I'm a big proponent of like protecting your eye gates, your ear gates, your heart gate. Right? So I am pretty...
Am I the only grown woman who was like, is there a gate down here to protect me? I thought we were going down the...
There's gates everywhere.
There
are gates everywhere, but we're going to keep this PG-13.
Sorry. Okay. Earmuffs, children. All right.
So you do need to protect your eye gates, your ear gates, and your heart gate.
Wait, don't repeat them again. I can't do it. Okay, I'm sorry.
So that you can be sure that your energy stays true to yourself. I won't even call it pure, but true to yourself, your vision, your goals, so that you can show up in the best manner possible for the people in your life that are reciprocating, that are part of building who you are and growing who you are and things of that nature. So I have lots of friends. Some of them are still talking about things that we were talking about 7 to 10 to 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I just know in my own brain, in my own head, when I'm having some conversations, that I put limits on those. And I'm like, okay, I can only go so far in this because it brings me down. Or I've only got so much time. I've got to be in a meeting in a little while, and I have to be at a certain level. So I can't have conversations before I need to leverage my energy, because that's what it's about. My mindset is that I only have my energy to leverage.
Yeah.
That reminds me of in sales, how we say, and I know you love talking about this, is that energy is contagious, right? It's a transfer of energy, and that goes to our relationships as well, is what I'm hearing you say, is like, you know, if you're around me, your energy can infiltrate mine.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And what does that do for me? Does that create self-sabotage for myself?
Yes. So let me jump in here. I love what you're saying about managing your energy, because so often when we don't have strong and healthy boundaries about who we're letting in to the inner debate, or our deepest desires of where we want to grow our business or where we want to elevate other elements of our life, we do need to be careful stewards and carefully defend those boundaries, and making sure that our energy isn't being polluted by the biases of someone else who maybe have very different goals and aspirations. And this isn't to compare, one person's dreams and aspirations to another. We all get to make our own choices. So I'm not making anyone right or wrong here. But as an individual, we have a personal imperative to defend those boundaries. And when we have goals for our business or personal life, we need to carefully and intentionally choose who we let into those conversations. And know that, we can still love someone and enjoy spending time with them, but know that maybe they aren't the one that I'm going to be discussing my business strategy with, or my desires to grow in different areas of my life, because everybody is on their own path and on their own pace of change. One is not right or wrong or better or worse than another. So we don't only need to, but it is our job to understand where we are and what we want for ourselves, and making sure that we are surrounding ourselves in these realms of business or personal life with the right people. And the saying, we've all heard the saying that you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. It is so true.
Really.
If I'm looking to double or triple the size of my business, why would I be surrounding myself with people who have never had a business? That, my friends, though I love them dearly, if they've never been a business owner, do I really need to be including them in the conversations? Because their input to that is going to be laden with their own biases and their own thoughts of scarcity or what's not possible. And we all know how tough it is to develop a business. We need to be fueled up with possibility, inspiration, and support, and cheerleaders that aren't made anxious or felt to feel inferior because their goals don't match ours. Right?
Oh my
And
gosh.
to
much
add
there.
to that, we always have this inspirational, motivational kind of goal setting look at it. But there are times that it's hard, it's difficult. And you have to surround yourself with people that aren't going to say, yeah, see, I told you that wasn't going to work. Right?
How gutting is
Right?
that?
Yeah. So you're trying to crawl out of your hole for the day, right? Because it's temporary typically. And you just know that you need that energy around you that's going to say, oh, don't worry about it. You know what?
You got this.
Yeah, I've seen you grow so much. I'm sure you'll get through it, right? As opposed to,
I don't think this is going to work.
I knew it wasn't going to happen.
I so appreciate you saying that, because the journey of entrepreneurship is filled with constant failure.
Yeah.
So if you have people who are naysayers, there's going to be so much for them to sink their teeth into. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to your point, if you don't have others around you who can normalize the journey.
Right.
And as you say that, that has been one of the things that's given me so much oxygen and courage and grit, has been you're not facing these challenges because you're slow or not smart or you lack the intellectual capacity to find new solutions. It's everyone on their journey encounters challenges that comes with the territory. And it's more about your resilience. And so then it's look, if you're looking for a reason to tell me why this wasn't a good idea, every day you're going to find it. Right? Yes. But you need those people, to your point, who are that failure is not final.
Right.
Matter of fact, the narrative you're adding to that isn't even the narrative. You should be, you should be pulling from that, and to have people who can just pour into you. I think about some of my greatest inspiration for entrepreneurship has come from the stories, right? I think of every great autobiography or biography that I've read, what's motivated me has been the missteps. They're oh, you were a normal person?
Yeah.
Or we talk about capital T trauma versus lowercase t trauma. I'm I've read some autobiographies of big T trauma, little t trauma, and all of you have endured, and so that means my journey and the circumstances along my journey aren't the final chapter. They don't necessarily have to negate my ability to succeed. And so if you can get that from a book, imagine the oxygen you can get if your network, if those people closest to you are always instilling that. Yeah. What's funny is, as we talk about this, I feel like you're just one friendship away from your next level, right?
That's right.
You're just one friendship away. But we're not done yet, right? Are you one funnel away? Is that a myth too, or is there some fact there? We're going to dive deeper into that subject in our next video. Join us there. Click now. Hurry up. We'll see you there. Bye.